In the hushed whispers of time, a tale unfolds, weaving a delicate pattern of faith and disbelief, of mystery and logic. This story, baptized as Flora, Symbolica, bridges the gap between Christian thought and non-belief, on a platform of sensuous beauty and divine grace. The saga begins with the mystical Flora of Eden. As Eve, our ancient predecessor, plucked more than just the forbidden apple in the divine garden, she introduced Earth to a kaleidoscope of fruits and plants. As the tale goes, when banished from paradise, Eve took with her a multitude of wondrous plants and fruitful flowers. Thus, to Eve, we owe our gratitude for the botanical bounty that adorns our planet today. In the grand scheme of the cosmos, it was Eve's audacity, paired with Adam's companionship, that paved the way for the human race. However, the world as we know it would not exist without God's enigmatic allowance. As the narrative progresses, we see a shift in God's demeanor. Initially angered by Eve's audacity, he soon succumbs to a divine epiphany. The realization that humans, made in his image, were merely reflecting his nature, brings forth a smile on his celestial countenance. The tale tells of a moment when God, with a thunderbolt in hand, contemplated ending an experiment gone awry. However, the joy of life's new song restrained him. Instead, he hurled the bolt into the heart of hell, giving birth to earth from molten fire. This newly formed world was gifted to Adam and Eve, a canvas for them to paint their own paradise. As the story concludes, God, in his divine wisdom, acknowledges the duality of human nature. He recognizes that the zest for life, the survival instinct, the ability to feel alive, are all facets of the same soul that can sometimes seem a little mischievous. In his infinite wisdom, God understands that just as day cannot exist without night, the human soul cannot be stripped of its wrongs to highlight only the right. In essence, Flora Symbolica is a poetic exploration of the human condition, the divine dilemma, and the intricate relationship between them. It reminds us that life, with its highs and lows, is a beautiful symphony, one that was never meant to be flat or monotonous. It celebrates the complexity of human nature, acknowledging that our mix of good and bad is what makes us who we are. After all, without the lows, there can be no highs.
Flora Symbolica. Lore of the flowers. Painted by Midjourney. Copyright 2023 Austin P. Torney.
A tale I've written, invented, yes, hence an attempt to unite the Christian pence with the non-belief, in a middle ground, somewhere between mystery and good sense.
Flora Symbolica. With flora mystical and magical, Eden's botanical garden was blessed. So Eve, taking more than just the apple, plucked off the loveliest of the best. Thus it's to Eve that we must give our thanks, for earth's variety of fruits and plants. For when she was out of paradise throne, she stole all the flowers we've ever known. Therewith, through sensuous beauty and grace, Eve with Adam brought forth the human race. But our world would never have come to be, had not God allowed them his mystery. When they were banished from his bosom, Eve saw more than just the apple blossom. and took, on her way through Eden's bowers, many wondrous plants and fruitful flowers.
Mighty God, upon seeing this great theft, at first was angered, but soon smiled and wept, for human nature was made in his name, so he had no one but himself to blame. Yet still he made ready his thunderbolt, as his Old Testament wrath cast its vote to end this experiment gone so wrong, but then he felt the joy of life's new song.
Eve had all the plants that she could carry. God in his wisdom grew uncontrary. Out of Eden she waved the flowered wands, the seeds spilling upon the barren lands.
God held the lightning bolt already lit, no longer knowing what to do with it. So he threw it into the heart of hell, forming of it a place where all was well.
Thus the world from molten fire had birth, as hell faded and was turned into earth. This he gave to Adam and Eve, with love, for them and theirs to make a heaven of.
From his bolt grew the hawthorn and bluebell. And he be damned, for Eve stole these as well. So he laughed and pretended not to see, retreating into eternity. So be it, God said, when time was young, that such is the life my design has wrung. For in their souls some part of me has sprung. So let them enjoy all the songs I've sung.
Life was much too easy in paradise, and lacked therefore of any real meaning, for without the lows there can be no highs, all that remains is a dull flat feeling. There's no devil to blame for their great zest, this mix of good and bad makes them best. The human nature that makes them survive also lets them feel very much alive.
That same beastful soul that makes them glad does also make them seem a little bad. If only I could strip the wrong from right, but I cannot have the day without the night.
Welcome to an exploration of the rich tapestry woven by the verses of the intriguing poem Flora Symbolica. This masterpiece attempts to reconcile religious belief with skepticism, exploring the realms of mystery and reason through the lens of nature's bounty. The poem commences with the mention of Eden's mystical garden, a biblical reference to the place of human origin. Eve, the first woman, is depicted as taking more than just the forbidden apple. She is portrayed as stealing the most beautiful flowers as she is expelled from paradise. Thus, the second verse of the poem suggests that Eve is the reason for the earth's diverse flora. The expulsion from paradise is reimagined as an act of theft, with Eve carrying away all the flowers we have ever known. The third verse explores the divine response to Eve's actions. God, initially angered, becomes delighted and emotional, for the humans were made in his image. The verse subtly suggests that if humans are flawed, so too might be their creator. With Eve carrying away all the plants she could hold, the fourth verse describes God's change of heart. His wrath subsides, and instead of destruction, he allows the seeds to spill onto the barren lands outside Eden, thus giving birth to Earth's flora.
The fifth verse presents a dramatic shift, with God throwing his prepared thunderbolt into the heart of hell, transforming it into a place of wellness. The world is born out of fire and given to Adam and Eve as a place to create their own paradise. The sixth verse humorously depicts Eve stealing even the hawthorn and bluebell that sprouted from God's bolt. God, seeing this, retreats into eternity, leaving the world to humans. The final verses reveal God's acceptance of human nature, acknowledging the importance of balance in life. He understands that without lows, there can be no highs, and without the night, there can be no day. To summarize, Flora Symbolica is a thought-provoking poem that explores the relationship between divine creation and human nature. It presents the origin of Earth's flora in a unique light, attributing it to Eve's act of theft during her expulsion from Eden. The poem also delves into the duality of human nature and the necessity of balance in life, as recognized by God himself. The symbolism of flowers and the biblical references enrich the poem's significance, making it a beautiful blend of myth, morality, and mysticism.
So it was that with fertile delight Eve seeded the lifeless earth for us to receive. Though many flowers she had to leave behind, these we have from the mother of mankind. Eve gathered the amiable jasmine, which soft exhales its breath of friendship, and by a delicious fragrance in the night, overpowers the stars with its sweet delight.
The jasmine impregnates the dew each night with its friendly perfume of good and right. Thus morning's incense carries its odor, keeping everyone in fresh good humor. Love's first emotion springs from the lilac, for it blooms when nature is first aroused. Thus it's love's youngest dream to all come back, where it will ne'er again remain unspoused. When time she sowed, the bees came all abuzz, and all around it flew their dance of love. So now we know that those who would savor the sweets of love mustn't neglect the flower.
Campfire, the scent of paradise, inspires, reminding us to what our soul aspires, when spontaneous desires overspill, to tell us of duties we must fulfill.
Daffodils, arranged in their elfin way, wear their yellow skirts like fairies' dresses, and brighten through the spirit light of morn into the fuller radiance of day.
Butterflies come to life in pansy psyches, embodied by extension into flight. Their flowers floating on the air, propelled, leaving shadow prints behind on the petals. The air fills with honeysuckle-scented nets, from fairies blowing the honey trumpets, while they silver million red geraniums that grow wild into many countless songs. The golden-throated lilies sing at morn, maiden flower blushes, its pureness reborn. Star galaxies of sunflowers sway, echoing the luminosity of day.
She picked some dandelions ripe enough to have gone from gold to just so much fluff, reminding us, when soft blown with a puff, that time will spread us too amid the dust.
Chrysanthemums drink the mellow day, falling petals carry the light away. The autumn fog enswirls, the mist upcurls, into nothingness the wisp slow unfurls.
Woodbine wets the air with its cooling musk. Bluebells herald the dim and dewy dusk, and ring the dance and song of evening knells, music tinkling in fairy festivals.
The evening primrose only in the night opens its cup to drink in the moonlight, then gazes round with silent love and smiles, much as we would upon a sleeping child. Its phosphorescent light guides the flight of the flying creatures that love the night. It looks the swelling moon straight in the sight, when they make love in the haunt of midnight.
Hairly everlasting, frozen in time by Eve's purity, survives cold and rime. It's a bit of heaven brought to our clime, where it still ignores the knell of death's chime.
With willowy grace, Eve fished with vines, and the willow yet throws out her lines, as drooping branches that fill the streams, with tears for flowers that we've never seen.
Have you ever wondered what secrets lie hidden in the heart of a flower? Join us on a poetic journey through the Garden of Eden as we explore the enchanting tale of Flora Symbolica. Once upon a time, our earth was barren, devoid of life. It was Eve, the mother of mankind, who seeded it with delight, bringing forth a lush landscape of vibrant flora. Among the many blossoms she left behind, a few held special significance. Imagine the sweet perfume of the jasmine, a flower that breathes friendship into the night. Its fragrance, so potent, it overpowers even the brilliance of the stars. Each morning, the dew carries its scent, bringing a fresh good humor to the day. Then there's the lilac, the first blossom to bloom as nature awakens. It symbolizes the youthful dream of love, promising a future where affections will never remain unrequited. When Eve sowed thyme, the bees danced a love ballet around it. This humble herb reminds us never to overlook the sweet allure of love. Camphire with the scent of paradise serves as a reminder of our soul's aspirations. It whispers of duties we must fulfill when our desires overflow. Now picture the daffodils, their yellow skirts fluttering like fairies' dresses, their radiance growing brighter with the spirit light of day. Pansies, on the other hand, embody the spirit of butterflies, leaving shadow prints on their petals as if they've taken flight. The scent of honeysuckles fills the air, as if fairies were blowing honey trumpets. They sow geraniums, their vermilion red blossoms growing wild in countless numbers. Golden-throated lilies sing at dawn, maiden flowers blush with renewed purity, and sunflowers sway, echoing the luminosity of the day. Eve picked dandelions ripe and fluffy, a poignant reminder that time inevitably will spread us too amid the dust. As chrysanthemums drink the mellow day, their falling petals carry the light away. Autumn fogs swirl, mists curl, and the wisp unfurls into nothingness. The air turns cool with the musk of woodbine, and bluebells herald the dim, dewy dusk with their evening knells, ringing the start of fairy festivals. The evening primrose opens to the moonlight, gazing round with silent love and smiles, guiding nocturnal creatures with its phosphorescent light. Eve's purity keeps the pearly everlasting, frozen in time, alive through cold and rime. It's a celestial gift, a piece of heaven on our earth, immune to the knell of death's chime. Willow with its willowy grace casts its drooping branches like fishing lines into the streams, shedding tears for flowers lost and dreams unfulfilled. This is the story of Flora Symbolica, a tale of love, duty, time, and purity, all intertwined in the language of flowers. Each bloom carries a message, a whisper from Mother Nature herself, reminding us of the beauty and transience of life. So, let us honor these blossoms, for they are more than mere decorations. They are the timeless symbols of life's most profound truths.
The innocent daisy, or the day's eye, is a lot like the sun. It cannot die. It far outlasts every other flower, shining even when the sun has no power.
Arbutus too, whose fruits and flowers of grew together in inseparable love. Eve took along with her, as heaven's boon, when she felt the kiss of the rising moon.
Out of God's thunderbolt grew the hawthorn, on that day when man and earth were born. Its snowy blossoms of hope and union gave this blessed world its first communion. The fleecy hawthorn sheds its summer snow to remind us of our birth so long ago. So Joseph's hawthorn staff along the way still blooms in winter on Christmas Day. Hawthorn was once known by the name of May, its thorns by then having been bred away. Thus for it the children went a-maying, and built the maypole, all around it playing.
But the calendar was set back 12 days, so May Day was no more. Yet memory stays, and the Queen of Blossoms Day is made when riders and lovers seek out her shade.
Ever, the immortal periwinkle, which, like the winter stars that twinkle, spreads through the snow its glossy flowers, to remind us of the spring's sunny hours. Though laughing with all the smiles she wore, Eve now more serious her burden bore, when she brought forth the mournful asphodel, dedicating it to the souls of hell. The asphodel sustains the Dis dwellers, where they rest beyond that fatal river. There the wretched shades drink forgetfulness, and to oblivion sink without distress.
Fireweed grows from hell's sulphurous embers, as does purple loosestrife, dead men's fingers. But wildflower air revives the dead, so then those happy souls can thrive on earth again.
Quick sprout the buttercups, all bright and new, goblets from which the fairies drink the dew. From the eglantine springs poetry's power. It's the only way to describe this flower.
The heliotrope turns towards the sun, closely tracking its path throughout the day. But when clouds appear or when day is done, it forgets about the sun and looks away. Eve brought forth Magnolia's magnificence, the playful hyacinth in its sprightly dance, and marigolds that follow the summer lost, enduring well into the final frost.
From the poppy we gain full sensation, elation, and oblivion's consolation. When life's miserable pain is too deep, it simulates death with a balmy sleep.
Growing in the cold, near the leafless trees, snowdrop bells ring out for friends in need. They bring hearty hopes to those with hardships. Icicles change to flowers by friendships.
Welcome to the captivating world of Flora Symbolica, a poem ripe with profound meanings and intricate symbolisms. A celebration of nature's beauty, the poem paints a vivid picture of various flowers, each carrying a distinct story and symbolism. The daisy, often referred to as the day's eye, symbolizes the everlasting nature of the sun. It outlives every other bloom, standing as a beacon of hope and endurance, even in the darkest hours. The arbutus, with its intertwining fruits and flowers, represents inseparable love. This flower holds a place of honor, as it was one of the divine gifts Eve carried with her. It's a symbol of love enduring through time and change. Then there's the hawthorn, born from God's thunderbolt. Its snowy blossoms symbolize hope and unity, marking the world's first communion. This flower also carries a reminder of our origin, shedding its summer snow as a nod to the cycle of life and rebirth. The periwinkle, with its glossy flowers shining amidst the snow, stands as a symbol of immortality. It serves as a gentle reminder of the sunny hours of spring during the harsh winter. The asphodel, on the other hand, carries a more somber note. It's dedicated to the souls of hell, signifying the place of rest beyond the fatal river. It's a symbol of oblivion and forgetfulness, a place where distressed souls can sink without distress. Fireweed and purple loosestrife, both born from hell's embers, stand for rebirth and revival. They are the embodiments of resilience and the cycle of life, demonstrating that even from the ashes, life can flourish again. Other flowers like the buttercups and eglantine symbolize joy and the power of poetry, while the heliotrope embodies loyalty, tracking the sun's path throughout the day. The magnolia, hyacinth, and marigolds each have their unique symbolism. Magnolia represents magnificence, hyacinth signifies playful dance, and marigolds symbolize endurance, following the lost summer into the final frost. The poppy, a symbol of full sensation, elation, and oblivion's consolation, offers a respite from life's deep pains, simulating death with a calming sleep. Lastly, the snowdrop bells growing near leafless trees in the cold symbolize hope and friendship. transforming icicles into flowers. In essence, Flora Symbolica is a celebration of life, love, endurance, and hope. Each flower carries its unique symbolism, painting a rich tapestry of meanings. It's a poetic journey through the world of flora, making us appreciate the profound beauty and wisdom nature holds. From the everlasting daisy to the hopeful snowdrop bells, each flower tells a different story, inviting us to delve deeper into the enchanting world of Flora Symbolica.
Eve carried forth forget-me-not bouquets that sprouted fast wherever heroes fell. They bring back all of the happiest days to sound in our hearts as memory's bell. Holly, the harbinger of spring desires, blooms all winter long, and with hope inspires our cold and dreary hearts to chime and ring with good cheer and love for everything. She took poisonous foxglove and nightshade to balance with woe the good that she gave, offset by amaranth, which if kept in shade would not even after death ever fade. And for the romantic art, Cupid's dart, to spur men and women to make their move, connected by nature's arrow of love, they deep impart the passion of the heart.
And choral bells, rung by bees and hummingbirds, a melody of tones without the words, and airy sprays of frothy baby's breath, gurgling with all that's much too sweet to purge.
There, sweet spikes of aromatic lavender, ready potpourri from heaven's splendor, as all around lay the symbolic flowers, to soft drowse the spirits into slumber.
Yet more we know from myth, lore, and legend, of flowers that gem the fields of Eden, and from symbols and wisdom handed down through oral tradition in floral towns. Wherever Eve breathed sprung floral dreams. Ever she walked water followed in streams. Ere she wept, tears bedewed the earth in bloom. A cedar tree even grew from her tomb.
Dead flowers are reborn by spring's breath, an ethereal floral wonderland of everlasting recollections, and some even retain their color after death.
Like amaranth, as mentioned earlier, or lasting beauty, whose secret elixir grants us flowers red through a year of days. Oh, but that life and love would never fade.
Or cedar, life from the dead, the emblem of eternity, as the preservation used for mummy cases and carved figures that last forever, immortal rigor.
Tracking Eve's trail throughout the ageless years, we find lady slippers, lady fingers, and Lady Smock all parts of Madonna. Her whole self, in fact, in Belladonna.
She wore a chaplet of sweetening buds that burst in bloom when fed by air and mud, and a garland of sprouts to strew about, with a rosary of shoots to put out.
She scattered the fern's seed at midnight's peal, to ask that treasures of the earth would reveal the flowers of woods, waysides, and shorelines, all remembered by florographic signs.
Eve planted the tree of life, from which we could obtain lumber, fuel, and homes, for free, plus weapons, wood, tools, food, and medicine, to mold the earth into a place we could live in.
And clover bushes, the haunt of the bee, bamboo grass too, for home and social need, and Lemuria, whose transparent seed looks much like the moon, in all honesty.
Continual morning glories each dawn guarantee that day will always come on. Bindweed and honeysuckle yet and twist to tell us that lovers will ever persist.
The melancholy thistle is a cure for the blues when taken with wine that's pure. Chicory in blossoms maroon is clad, its young and tender leaves used for salad. Eve gave freshness, fragrance, to the lily, and seized hemlock, the devil's property, left us hawkweed to clear the sight and wits, and brought hellebore to purge evil spirits.
Have you ever wondered about the symbolism of flowers in our lives? Let's embark on a journey through the lines of a poem, Flora Symbolica, and explore the deep meanings hidden in the petals and stems of nature's most beautiful creations. In the poem, Eve carries forth forget-me-not bouquets, a symbol of remembrance that sprouted wherever heroes fell. They bring back all of the happiest days, resonating in our hearts like memory's bell. The holly, a harbinger of spring desires, blooms all winter long, inspiring our cold and dreary hearts with hope and love for everything. This is balanced by the poisonous foxglove and nightshade, symbols of woe, offset by the unfading amaranth, a symbol of immortality. Cupid's dart, symbolizing romantic love, spurs men and women to make their move, connecting them through nature's arrow of love. Coral bells, rung by bees and hummingbirds, create a melody of tones without words, while sprays of frothy baby's breath gurgle with sweetness. Lavender, with its sweet aromatic spikes, offers a heavenly potpourri, lulling the spirits into a soft slumber. All around lay symbolic flowers, each with their unique tales from myth, lore, and legend. As Eve walked, flowers sprouted, water followed in streams, and her tears bedewed the earth in bloom. Cedar trees, symbols of life from death and eternity, even grew from her tomb. Many flowers, like amaranth and lasting beauty, retain their color after death, a reflection of life's everlasting recollections. Cedar, used for mummy cases and carved figures, is a symbol of the immortality that lasts forever. Tracking Eve's trail, we find lady's slippers, lady's fingers, and lady's smock, all parts of Madonna. She wore a chaplet of sweetening buds that burst in bloom when fed by air and mud, a garland of sprouts, and a rosary of shoots. Eve planted the tree of life, providing lumber, fuel, and homes, plus weapons, tools, food, and medicine. Clover bushes and bamboo grass meet home and social needs, while Lumeria, with its transparent seed, resembles the moon. Morning glories, each dawn guarantee that day will always come on. Bindweed and honeysuckle entwist, telling us that lovers will ever persist. In the grand scheme of life, flowers are not just beautiful entities. They carry deep meanings and symbolize various aspects of life. From love to death, joy to sorrow, hope to despair, flowers embody the diversity of human emotions and experiences. So the next time you see a flower, remember it's not just a flower, it's a symbol, a story, a piece of the grand tapestry that is life.
The hawthorn, here yet again, blooms redux, like blackthorn in Christ's crown, as thorns do, or as wood of the true cross where he died, all seem to miraculously multiply.
Eve's saplings drank of the earth's gushing breast, and produced the primeval forest. Somewhere this secret would remains, unguessed, the place where all man's sorrows come to rest. Life is a flower whose leaf is summer green, whose spring was purple passion eglantine. Although fall's second spring may intervene, the frost at last is the winter scene. All earthly pleasures dear to us Eve brought, provided by the master's afterthought. Honey, juices, syrups, all hand-wrought. Nuts, berries, and fruits, nothing went for naught.
Eden's sinful apple, the cause of it, made for harsh apple cider, but when it was heated with sulphurous brimstone it then turned smooth, the hell taken out of it.
The clematis, with its clinging habit, makes shade of travelers' joy at in porches for wayfarers wearied, warm, or unfit. Its leaves are the clouds, its fruit, star torches.
From quinine, medicine that could relieve. Of citron, cure for snake bite, death's reprieve. The ginseng refreshes memory's streams. calms the passions, and begets pleasant dreams.
Basil leaf is a ticket to rapture. Passion flower, to atonement, a day star. And you, the oldest living thing on earth, yet remains alive, 6,000 years worth.
The trefoil, for love, heroism, and wit, grants power o'er the banshees of moor and pit. Who would steal the soul, and against all snakes? Poisonous, they scuttle into the lakes.
Edelweiss, a white flower most gallant, is the heart left by an angel visitant. Mistletoe lends a green indoor refuge to the wintering spirits of the wood.
The dusk deepens, night's pot of tea steepens. Silence descends, as when a gift opens. Eventide rises. On high, Orion camps. The eyes catch stars like fireflies and lamps.
Our shadows are touching, in the same shade. We embody, in third dimension made. We kiss, drift, cross into each other's role. Spirits open, rainbows meld in the soul. If nightshade you eat, you'll become a sow. And we'll see the ghosts, shades, and dark shadows of those who came before our humankind. Those whose spirit worlds overlap the mind.
The tuberose is a dangerous pleasure, even when taken in but small measure. Its exquisite scent has such great power that it can wither you within the hour.
What's that? Phantoms that are but a glimmer of the life and light of some halfway seen. Of beings twixt man and angel, they shimmer, as one might remember them from a dream.
They, Cupid-like, are the souls of flowers, and wear petal cloaks and have wings that blur. They sleep in cowslips, where with childhood's ear, you, listening, all their music can hear.
They're sylphs, tree spirits, wood folk, and fays, gathered in posies of living bouquets. Knowing well the language of the flowers, they bestow their favors on the growers.
We embark on our journey with the hawthorn, blooming again, mirroring the blackthorn in Christ's crown. This image, sharp and poignant, resonates with the wood of the cross where Christ perished. It's a symbol of miraculous multiplication, a testament to the enduring strength and resilience of nature. The next lines take us back to the beginning of time. We're led to imagine Eve's saplings drinking from the earth's nourishing breast, producing the primeval forest. There's a secret place, the poem suggests, where humanity's sorrows find solace. It's a hidden sanctuary untouched and unspoiled by mankind's influence. Life is likened to a flower, with summer as its green leaf, and its spring being the purple passion, eglantine. The inevitable cycle of life is acknowledged, from the bloom of spring to the frost of winter. Our journey continues with an homage to the earthly pleasures Eve brought into existence. The sweetness of honey, the tang of fruits, and the warmth of nuts, all are gifts from nature. Nothing is wasted. The poem then presents an intriguing twist with the sinful apple from Eden. The harsh apple cider, once heated with sulfurous brimstone, turns smooth, symbolizing the transformation of sin and suffering into something palatable. Next, the clematis, with its clinging habit, provides shade for weary travelers at inn porches. Its leaves are akin to clouds, its fruit, star torches. The poem offers a sense of comfort and shelter in the natural world. As we move further, we encounter the healing power of plants. Quinine, citron, and ginseng, each with their unique medicinal properties, offering relief, memory enhancement, and calming effects. The basil leaf, passion flower, and yew are symbols of life's vast experiences, from rapture to atonement, and the astounding longevity of life. The poem then speaks of the trefoil's power against banshees and snakes, and the gallant edelweiss, left by an angel visitor. The mistletoe, an indoor refuge for wintering woodland spirits, brings a touch of magic into our homes. As night falls, the poem takes a mystical turn. Our shadows touch, spirits open, and rainbows meld in the soul. The poem suggests a deep interconnectedness between us and the universe. But beware the nightshade and the tuberose. These dangerous pleasures can lead to encounters with ghosts and shades, and their potent scents can wither one within an hour. Finally, we meet phantoms, beings between man and angel. They are the souls of flowers sleeping in cowslips. They're sylphs, tree spirits, wood folk, and fays gathered in living bouquets. In summary, Flora Symbolica is a rich exploration of nature's mysteries and marvels. It's a celebration of the interconnectedness of life, the cyclical nature of existence, and the healing power of plants. It's a testament to nature's resilience, beauty, and its transformative power. It's a reminder that within nature we find not just resources, but also sanctuary, wisdom, and a deep, enduring connection to the universe.
There's a tunnel back to Eden's garden. A funnel, really, are small and open. And through this fairyland we'll return, free, to hang Adam's apple back on the tree.
Sprites shadowed Adam's Eve throughout the land, the seeds sprouting everywhere by their hand, the growth blessed by a pixie's twinkling wand, that showered the plants with a fine dewy sand.
The naiads too spread germinating seeds. Among them these many blossoming deeds, perpetual flowering carnations, and sparkling buttercup potions, as in
the silken saucers for hollyhock tea, in which a child could capture the wild bee, to hear the aggravated buzz, and play, then unstung, free the bee to fly away.
the elves grew basil, wolfsbane, cucumber, cinquefoil, meadow saffron, and germander, even gillyflower and primroses, to which the fays gave their dewy kisses.
Cotton grew, woven by the wee people, into clothes, with a whirling spinning wheel, whose spindle was the stinger of a bee, weavings that surpassed the spider's best web. Fireflies followed and lit the way for the little weavers who were chased by jealous spiders. The folk hid in a cotton ball, the spider finding nothing there at all. The wheat flowers came, marking autumn's track, the blossoms that almost brought the spring back. But winter's white death wrap was drawn over, smothering the earth's last warm sweet odor. Such then comes the end of summer's dreams, the blanching of the grassy banks of streams. But all fragrances the elves remember, through their sleep during the winter embers.
Youth and beauty made aged winter mourn, for summer's grain, the waving wheat and corn. For old autumn, withered, wan, had passed on, leaving the earth a widow, weather-worn.
The blossoms fall, showers of fragrant beauty, as leaves fade while the bulbs store up energy. Fairies' floral dreams grant this destiny, for these leavings enrich earth's potpourri. Flowers lay their heads to sleep in soft beds, blanketed by webs of gossamer threads. The fairy creatures cast their spectral glow, as winter stars, floral twins, start to grow.
Later, when surely all the world is dead, a fairy stands atop old winter's grave, and says, "'Tis not dead," and by magic bread, makes snowdrops flower in the tomb's heat wave.
Winter aconite, an early flower, grows even under the season's dim power, and its bright corollas far outsplendor the winter sun's pale and paltry color.
Nymphs slide from their cocoons, their pinions, yet wrapped and wet, then breathe the earthy air that calls them forth into life's dominion, to fly and flutter in flux here and there.
Flowers spring from the footfalls of a lass. Foliage withers where evil spirits pass. But where unknown colors shine, fairies mass, and drink the twilight dew off of the grass.
Realm where the ordinary and extraordinary intertwine, where the mundane meets the magical, exists the enchanting universe of flora and fairies. This is a journey through a tunnel, a narrow passage that leads back to the fabled Eden's Garden. It's a voyage of liberation, a return to the cradle of nature to restore the proverbial Adam's apple to its rightful place. In this mystical land, sprites shadowed the footprints of the first woman, Adam's Eve. They sowed seeds far and wide, nurturing the earth with a pixie's magical touch. Naiads, the water nymphs, joined this botanical ballet, spreading seeds that would bloom into perpetual flowering carnations and concoct sparkling buttercup potions. The elves, the industrious creatures of this fairyland, cultivated a variety of plants. From basil to germander, from meadow saffron to primroses, each plant received the tender touch of the fays, the fairy kisses that sparked their growth. The elves also spun cotton, deftly using a bee's stinger as a spindle. Their creations surpassed even the most intricate spider's web, a testament to their skill and finesse. However, the arrival of autumn marked a poignant shift. The vibrant weed flowers, a harbinger of the season's change, tried to revive the essence of spring. But the inevitable winter arrived, wrapping the earth in its cold embrace, taking away the last remnants of the warm, sweet odor. Summer's dreams faded, replaced by the stark reality of winter. Yet the elves held on to the memories of the fragrant past, cherishing them through their winter slumber. The earth, now a widow, mourned the loss of summer's grain and the passing of autumn. The fading leaves and falling blossoms were a reminder of the cyclical nature of life. Yet, these remnants weren't merely leavings. They enriched the earth's potpourri, a testament to the fairies' floral dreams. As the flowers retreated into their soft beds, the fairy creatures cast their spectral glow. Winter stars, the floral twins, began to twinkle, illuminating the stark landscape. Even in the depth of winter, when life seemed extinct, a fairy would stand atop old winter's grave. With a mere utterance, "'Tis not dead," the fairy invoked magic. As if in defiance of the harsh season, snowdrops flowered, their blooms a spectacle against the chilling tomb. The winter aconite, another early bloomer, emerged under the season's dim power, outshining even the winter sun with its bright corollas. Nymphs emerged from their cocoons, ready to breathe the earthy air and join life's dominion. In this magical realm, flowers sprang from the footfalls of a maiden, while evil spirits left a trail of withering foliage. Yet wherever unknown colors shone, fairies gathered, drinking twilight dew off the grass. This journey, this magical voyage, is a testament to the enduring power of nature and the mystical beings that inhabit it. It reminds us of the cyclical nature of life, the constant ebb and flow, the death and the rebirth. This is the enchanting world of flora and fairies,
a universe where magic and reality blend into a beautiful tapestry of life.
The elves blow their pipes to awaken nature's Flora, that her step may quicken, and from the odors memories recur, as we're given back our youth of summer.
The blooms are a crimson mist, in green blade, through yellow air, beyond the deep blue shade. A white mist drifts through azure skies, fade, toward purple mountains, fragrance of the glade. In the spirit world, the grass is greener, the heart's redder, and the passion's pinker. Orange, cherry, and violet are planted colors, and twixt blue and green falls a new tincture. Love is reason enough for its giving, for beauty is its own excuse for being. The doing of good becomes its own reward, and the truth does best define its meaning. Petunias grow wherever rainbows touch, their colors vibrant, a bouquet as such, of rays that make the flowers glow so much. Heaven's prismatic radiance, life's clutch. In the luminous backwood haunts night plants are seen growing fast from the touch of nymphs. Fairy frocks, made of elfin sewing, of heart halves of lady lockets joined in love. At night, tulip lamps light the lover's gate, as hollyhock torches illuminate. The secret hollows glow from crocuses, their cups of sunlight stored for the muses.
At woodland's edge, we folk leave sentinels, the bugle flowers, to announce to dells the entrance of lovers into the wood, so all can enjoy the amorous mood.
Wherever the elves themselves have romance, wild pansies, known as Jump Up and Kiss Me, spring from the power of their loving dance, emanations from the sprite's imagery.
The eyes love to rest on the sky of blue, while eve upon the greensward smiles at you. A new life colors the world in between, devils and angels, earth's human pristine.
Eve set tufts of anemones, fully blown, ever after given as the wind's own, and vines, wreathing and twining, overgrown, and odoriferous blooms in bunches sown.
Across the Lea and on the moor she shows, along the lane and through woodland meadows. Eve, Mother Nature, yet lives in boughs and thickets, still imparting all she knows.
Some flowers close, protecting their pollen. By sleeping, some at morn, some at even, some at other flower clock hours, some when, and some, like jewelweed, never open.
The glowworms, fairy stars come down to ground. Gleam the shadowy woods through summer's round. Then fall's leaves flutter through the quiet air. The autumn being the sunset of the year.
Brown as death's coloring of all that grows. So fairies don't allow it in their rainbows. But beyond the spectrum, where we can't see, new hues paint their phantom activity.
Elves find Venus shining in broad daylight, knowing where to look as if it were night. Then follow her as the evening star, till with her fiery lover she takes flight. Just before dawn, amid the dew and moss, elves ride on a moonbeam made of bugloss, and see the North Star and the Southern Cross, in the same sky, most all the way across.
Have you ever considered the power of color and fragrance in your day-to-day life? The hues and scents around us can evoke memories, stir emotions, and even transport us to other worlds. Today's poem, Flora Symbolica, part 7 of a series, explores these themes in a lush, vivid narrative. In a world not dissimilar to ours, yet teeming with magic, elves awaken nature's flora with their pipes. The scents and sights of blooming flowers awaken memories of summers past, painting the air with a crimson mist. In this realm, the grass is greener, quite literally, and emotions are as vibrant as the colors that represent them. The spectrum of color is wider, with new hues falling between the familiar blue and green. The rainbow, a symbol of vibrance and life, touches the ground, and petunias spring up in its wake. They embody the prismatic radiance of heaven, a testament to the notion that beauty is its own excuse for being. The night brings its own magic, with plants growing at a rapid pace under the touch of nymphs. Fairies' frocks and ladies' lockets are crafted from love, lighting up the night alongside tulip lamps and hollyhock torches. At the edge of the forest, bugle flowers announce the arrival of lovers, setting a mood of romance that permeates the woodland. The dance of elves brings forth wild pansies, known as Jump Up and Kiss Me, a charming testament to the power of love. In this world, Eve, a representation of Mother Nature, bestows the wind with tufts of anemones. She weaves vines and sows fragrant blooms, her presence echoing through the lanes, woods, and meadows. Some flowers protect their pollen by sleeping, closing at different hours of the day, while others, like jewelweed, never open at all. The glowworms, likened to fairy stars, illuminate the shadowy woods throughout summer, leading us into the autumn, the sunset of the year. The poem concludes with a poignant reflection on the cycle of life and death. The color brown, representative of death, is absent from the fairies' rainbow, yet beyond the spectrum where we cannot see, new colors paint their phantom activities. In the pre-dawn hours, elves ride on moonbeams made of bugloss, following the North Star and the Southern Cross, symbols of guidance and navigation, leading us to ponder our own journey through life. Flora Symbolica is a beautiful exploration of color, fragrance, and life, a testament to the power of nature and the magic that lies just beyond our perception. It reminds us that beauty is its own reward, that love can create miracles, and that even in death there is a promise of new life.
Now the earth is very old, but each spring it turns young again when nature reinvents it, constructing the temple of Flora outside, in desert, field, wetland, woodland, and wayside.
Spring kisses the earth, leaving flowers there, like those whose perfume first scented virgin air. As again, the fragrant glen, in heaven's prayer,
Hails Earth's anniversary with flowers fair.
Slake love's thirst for life's earthly endeavor. Near a stream where wildflowers grow forever. Flowers influence our feelings, deep they roam. Flora's fairest flowers compose heaven's poem.
The pure white flowers of Paradisia grow only within the subalpine meadow. Not to mention sundrop, saffron, twinflower, pomander, and 1,000 other flowers.
For supper, Eve savored salad made from thyme, mallow, Bible leaf, and sugar plum. All edible and flavorful flowers, mixed with chervil, lovage, and sunflower. The lavender, rosemary, and sage all release fragrance when crushed by a footfall. So herbs are strewn on floors to clean and scent, odored ornaments preventing ailments.
Early sage, before it became dilute, kept man immortal, an evergreen root. Though now diminished in its once great power, it still keeps us healthful in summer's bower.
The crown imperial refused to hang its head at the foot of the cross, so vain and proud of its majestic reign, so now its petals must droop and weep nectar rain.
Heaven's patron of arts, grace, and license, left us sweet-smelling plants with flowered scents, and aromas redolent, fluorescence, in flush and prime of days reminiscent.
Blooms have eternal life in heaven's glade, an ethereal floral wonderland of everlasting recollections. Oh, but that mortal life would never fade.
When Eden fell, all elfin creatures too were loosed with Eve into the world anew. Their tenders of the precious flowers few, of the flora that in the garden grew.
There, what uncanny things flock in between, unknown in the shadows, there but unseen? Their dream visions, completing the triad of Earth's heavenly things with flowers and love.
Breathe flowered air and you'll never know death. Your incarnate life and eternal wreath. Breathe ambrosial incense, balm, and spice, of flowers as fragrant as a fairy's breath. Eve's elves gave us the taste of strawberry, the messages of the honeysuckle, the signals of wisteria, and the once neglected memories of rosemary.
And the sweet breath of purple violets, with the enamored voice of rivulets, and scarlet pimpernels that aft nice days pass. In fold, they are the poor man's weather glass. and brilliant clumps of blue delphiniums, soft irises and sharp nasturtiums, dewy-eyed pincings, velvet smooth and dear, and lilies of the valley, their eve's tears.
Have you ever paused to consider how the world in its grand age springs back into youth each year? This miraculous transformation is orchestrated by nature itself, reinventing the earth and constructing the temple of Flora in every nook and cranny. Deserts, fields, wetlands, woodlands and waysides. And just as the first flowers scented the virgin air, each spring brings a new fragrant glen. This divine ritual hails Earth's anniversary with fair flowers, painting a vivid picture of Earth's eternal youth. Flowers, these simple yet profound creations, influence our feelings and touch the deepest corners of our souls. The fairest of Flora's flowers indeed compose heaven's poem. From the pure white flowers of Paradisia that grow only within the subalpine meadow to the sundrop, saffron, twinflower, pomander and 1,000 other flowers, each has a unique story to tell. In the beginning, Eve savored salads made from the edible and flavorful flowers of thyme, mallow, Bible leaf and sugar plum, mixed with chervil, lovage and sunflower. Even today, herbs like lavender, rosemary and sage release their fragrance when crushed, serving as odored ornaments to cleanse and scent our surroundings, preventing ailments. Flowers are not just about beauty and fragrance. They also bear deep symbolism. The crown imperial, for instance, refused to droop its head at the foot of the cross out of pride for its majestic reign, and now its petals weep nectar rain. Flowers, it seems, have eternal life in heaven's glade, an ethereal floral wonderland of everlasting recollections. Wouldn't it be wonderful if our mortal lives could mirror this immortality? When Eden fell, the elfin creatures were loosed into the world with Eve. They became the tenders of the precious flowers that once grew in the garden. These creatures living in the shadows are part of the triad of Earth's heavenly things, along with flowers and love. Breathing in the flowered air, the ambrosial incense, balm, and spice of flowers is akin to taking in a fairy's breath. It's a promise of an eternal wreath of incarnate life. From the taste of strawberry to the messages of the honeysuckle, the signals of wisteria, and the memories of rosemary, these elfin creatures gifted us a world of sensory experiences. Flowers like the enamored voice of rivulets, scarlet pimpernels, blue delphiniums, soft irises, sharp nasturtiums, dewy-eyed pensings, and lilies of the valley all contribute to this symphony of senses. This poem is a tribute to the beauty and significance of each flower, a celebration of nature's grand design. It invites us to appreciate the role of flowers in our lives and to see the world through their vibrant hues and intoxicating fragrances. It's a reminder that flowers are more than just ornaments. They are symbols of life's eternal cycle and the divine poetry of nature.
Eve carried myrtle too, meaning perfume, to rouse beauty from her watery tomb. Myrtilla rose from the sea in old Greece, adding myrtle sprigs to the laurel wreath. The arts were first born from the acanthus, in the wreaths of it made at tournaments. They're engraved in the columns of Corinth, as Greek architectural ornaments.
Vervain too, with the power that enchants. It brings on visions of a sweet romance, gathered as druids did, by inner sight, when Sirius rose against the moonless night.
Orange blossoms are generosity's shower, being at once fruit, foliage, and flower. They bear the legendary apples golden, often guarded by an ear sleeping dragon.
For remembrance, Eve brought us rosemary. The lily too, white for its purity. And the tulip, which does declare its love. By the truth which it is the beauty of. But all the flowers mentioned herein above would not have made this life worthy of. So Eve took the rose, the bloom of love, right under the eyes of heaven above.
The rose was pure white when it first was born, until she kissed it with her ruby lips. Or came it red when Venus fell on a thorn, rushing to the aid of struck Adonis?
Or did the rose sprout forth, all fully blown, from the heart of a goddess, do you think? Or was it out of Cupid's nectar grown, when he poured to earth that heavenly drink? Or when the nightingale, with hope forlorn, overpowered by the rose's perfume, impaled itself in love upon her thorn, then revived in the beauty of the bloom?
With the rose the earth is rich forever. It's born from spring's dying kiss to summer, and wears all the gems that the dew has wreathed, blooming wherever summer's breath has breathed. The winds make love to the flowers of May. The woods burst with the joy of Eve's bouquet. Like Flora we too from Eden have come, from all that's gone before we are the sum. Now heaven's favors are spread all around, for the flowers, fully blossomed and grown, wave and smile as miracles from the ground, reminding us all of what love has sown.
In the beginning there was myrtle, a symbol of perfume, carried by Eve herself to awaken beauty from her aquatic slumber. Myrtilla in ancient Greece emerged from the sea, adding sprigs of myrtle to the laurel wreath. Birthed from the acanthus were the arts, presented in wreaths at tournaments, engraved in the Corinthian columns, a testament to Greek architectural prowess. Vervain entered the scene, enchanting with its power, conjuring visions of sweet romance. Collected with inner sight, as the Druids did when Sirius rose against the pitch-black night. Then the orange blossoms rained down, a shower of generosity, embodying fruit, foliage, and flower. They bore the legendary golden apples, often guarded by dragons that knew no sleep. For remembrance, Eve gifted us rosemary, the lily, pristine in its white purity, and the tulip, an emblem of love, declared through its undeniable beauty. Yet all these flowers would not suffice to make life worthy. Thus was born the rose, the bloom of love under the watchful gaze of heaven above. The rose, initially pure and white, was kissed by Eve, her ruby lips bestowing its red hue, or perhaps the rose reddened when Venus fell upon a thorn, rushing to aid her beloved Adonis. Did the rose bloom fully from a goddess's heart, or was it nurtured by Cupid's nectar, poured generously onto the earth? Or was the rose born from a nightingale's desperate love, revived by the intoxicating perfume of the bloom? With the rose, earth is forever rich. It is the dying kiss of spring to summer, adorned with the gems of dew, blooming wherever summer breathes. The winds dance with the flowers of May, and the woods echo with the joy of Eve's bouquet. Like Flora, we too are descendants of Eden. We are the sum of all that has come before us. Heaven's favors are generously spread, for the fully blossomed and grown flowers wave and smile, miracles sprung from the ground, reminding us all of the love that has been sown. The poem Flora Symbolica is a rich tapestry of symbolism and mythology, woven together to create a narrative that speaks of the origin of flowers and their significance in human life. It explores themes of love, beauty, remembrance, and the passage of time, using the flowers as metaphors to convey deeper meanings. The poem reminds us of our connection to nature, the divine, and the cycle of life, urging us to appreciate the beauty around us and the love that makes life worth living.